Food consultant Gail Blair is suing her cookbook co-author, Christine Moore, for payment for work on the book.
Miss Blair, you have an awful lot of papers there.
Yes, I do.
I know you do. This is what I think your case is about. You and the defendant entered into a business relationship to co-author a book. It was a book about certain foods that you eat to detox your body. You were to do the recipes, and she was to do the text.
Not
She
exactly.
was to do, who was to do the recipes?
Joint.
And you were to do the,
Both of us contributed to the recipes, and my part was intellectual property, and then the cost of production.
Intellectual property is a ridiculous statement. Miss Moore, if you create a recipe, it's an intellectual property. The fact that you do it in a clinic and use a certain methodology, that is also an intellectual property, if it's unique. But it's no more unique than creating a recipe. Do you understand? No, I didn't know you understand. So I'm going to make this case very simple. According to you, you contributed recipes, and she tried to publish the book without giving you appropriate attribution.
Correct.
Did you publish the book?
Yes.
Did you make any money?
No.
Did you sell any copies?
None for profit.
Not true. It's on Amazon.
Show me.
The Amazon placement is the E1. I have the email that says I ceased and desisted of the hard copy of the book.
Just a second. Is what you're telling me you purchased the book online?
Yep.
I'd like to see it. Okay, well, clearly she purchased this book.
Yep.
Not a yup, that's a yes.
Yes.
Clearly?
Yes.
Clearly she purchased this book. And she has a receipt that she purchased the book online less than a month ago.
Correct.
And your agreement with her was that this was a partnership wherein she would contribute the recipes and be co-author on this book.
No.
Well, you tell me what your agreement was.
Our agreement over a glass of wine was I already
That's
had
not true.
recipes.
Shh, just a second. Tell me when it took place.
It was in, I'm going to say on the book. I'd known her for probably a year before we started the book, and I was reticent. She had been.
Now, don't tell me you were reticent.
Okay.
You had known her for about a year.
ma'am.
You said before we started the book.
Before we
And-
started talking about the book.
No, we started the book. Let's go.
Okay.
Sitting over a drink. And
Okay. And there was a agreement that we would both contribute recipes. She was going to fill in and create recipes, not copy and paste.
Just a second.
I was going to create recipes. We both had time involved, and then I was the professional part of it that leads the detox and the finances behind it. And after we would receive a profit, then we would split all monies 50-50. That was our agreement.
just a second. Sounds perfectly reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
How much money did you put into the book?
$4,500.
For what?
Production and editing.
How much did you contribute to the book?
In hours?
No.
Oh.
In
Oh, I'm
cash
sorry.
money.
In cash money? That wasn't part of our agreement.
Just
I didn't contribute any money.
So the answer would be zero.
Zero.
And how much profit did you make from the book?
Zero.
How much profit did you make on the book?
Zero.
You're not entitled to any money. That wasn't your agreement. Your agreement was once she covered her expenses, you would share the profits 50-50. You made no profit, you get no money. Listen, having written a few books, I know that there's cost of editing, there's cost of photography. There are all different kinds of costs that have to be covered
Right.
before you start to make a profit. That was your agreement. It's a very simple thing. There was no profit. Correct?
Correct.
Correct. We're done. Thank you.
Ma'am, may I please address? I would really request a release so that I may further do the cookbook.
No way. This is all about cash. That's what I have to determine. You want to decide on intellectual property? Go someplace else. You had a contract. You were supposed to make half the profits after she
That wasn't.
cut even.
That was not our agreement.
Well, I think that it was your
that
agreement.
means my work is not worth anything.
Your work is worth nothing if the work doesn't produce anything. Listen, I work in an industry where you can produce things that are fantasies in your mind. You try to put them down and put them on tape. You work for hours. Nobody buys the product. 99% of what we make, nobody buys. I don't want a game show. I don't want a talk show. I don't want another court show. I don't want another Survivor show. And you've done all the work and you can't sell it. That doesn't mean you get any profit. We don't get paid for the hours. Do you understand? You take a chance. You went into business, you took a chance. You didn't make any money. We're done. Thank you.